Today I'm going to be making homemade guacamole. Now this collection is the Good Mexican collection and the guacamole is right inside here. However, if you are just wanting to purchase the guacamole on its own, you certainly can. Now this mix is to die for and is so much better than what you're buying in the grocery store right now. As you can see, it's a dry mix. And we do not have any artificial colorings or flavorings. We don't have any milk ingredients inside there. We also don't add a whole bunch of fillers. So if you have a guacamole seasoning in your pantry, you might want to pull it out and just take a look and see how we differ from what you might have. Now, this jar can flavor not just guacamole, but you can actually be using it for other dishes because it's just a rock solid killer, amazing seasoning. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to make the good guacamole dip. And I've got a couple avocados here. How do you find a good avocado? Well, some of you are probably familiar with the test of just feeling it. If it just gives a little bit, it's probably great. The other thing is if it's still got the top on, just flick that off. It flicks off quite easily. It's great. Also, if it's got a nice green coloring in the inside, chances are it's perfect. So let's see how well I did. This is our Prep Pro knife. Absolutely love it. It's ceramic, super sharp, as you can see. I'm just gonna whip around here, give it a twist. Oh my goodness, absolutely perfect. And let's see how I did with this one. Same thing. Beautiful. Give it a twist. Voila. Okay, so what I do with my guacamole is I actually use my knife to actually score it while it's right inside the peel. Why? It's a little bit of a cheat for me. Some people want to use forks to make it squishy. I sort of try to get as much as I can done while it's right in the shell. Okay, this one I have a bit of the peel in there. Okay, so we'll just again. And this knife will just cut this up like, seriously, like butter. It's effortless. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on. I certainly don't want to cut right through to my fingers. To take out the seed, I just sort of give it a bit of a grip and pop it right out. So I'm going to do the same here. Super easy. Now, when you're making this guacamole, a couple things is some people put sour cream in their guacamole. I tend to not. I just find it's lots of calories that I don't really need. The other thing that I don't like putting sour cream in is I have a lot of friends who have allergies to dairy and things like that. And a lot of people who look to Epicure look at us for all the great healthy products that we have. So I don't really think I really want to put all that extra. I mean, how good could it be just with real whole foods again, right? So I've got this done now. You can take a spoon and I'm just going to put it right inside a dish. You can see how it just comes out perfectly. And it's already chopped already for you, right? Talking about making life easy. So I'm going to do that. Now the directions for making the guacamole are actually right on the guacamole jar. So I'll read that to you in just a second. Let's just finish getting this in here. See, there's a good reason why I didn't add sour cream to this. This bowl is a little full. These weren't even big avocados either. Anyway, okay, so we've got that done. We're gonna add a splash of lime. So this is our citrus press. You'll notice it's yellow and green. Because it's lime and it's a smaller size, I actually will want to put it in this direction. And what I love about this, you're not going to use a whole lime. It'll make it too flavorful, but we put the lime in to prevent the browning on it. But this citrus press is so amazing. We just want a little splash of lime. Beautiful. And we're going to add our seasoning mix. Now the directions on the jar say actually mash 2 ripe avocados and combine 3 tablespoons. This is our 4-in-1 spoon. Tablespoon at this end, teaspoon at this end, flip it over, half a teaspoon and a 1/4 teaspoon. So we're going to add 3 tablespoons of the mix. Yum. If you could only smell it. And now if you have a fork, you can just sort of get this incorporated. And because, like I said, I did most of the chopping up in advance, it's super easy, right? I'm not sitting here having to go to a lot of work on doing this. Some of you have noticed this is an actual Mexican bowl. It actually comes, I didn't want to show this, but it actually comes with a masher. Just because I don't want you to think that you need one of these bowls to make guacamole. You really, really don't. So I'm just incorporating this in. You can see it's mixing up nicely now. And we're gonna just let it sit for a bit. Now, if you want to make it more authentic, what you can do is, some people like adding a little extra onion, so they've got a little bit of a texture issue to it. I personally don't. I think it tastes fine just on its own. But if you did want to do that, I will show you quickly while we're just letting this get all the flavor. Perfect. So what I'm going to show you is this is what you may want to consider doing. So if you do have a red onion, the nice thing with this Prep Pro knife is it will sliver thin the onion. And you don't want a whole lot of onion in there, but when you do slice it, like seriously, this is like paper thin. You can just chop it up really, really fine. And add it in. Is it required? Not at all. But if you did want to just sort of put that in there, you certainly could. So there is our guacamole, guys. Fabulous. You see, I like mine coarse, a little, so it's got texture to it. Some of you may want to have it really, really smooth. You could throw it in a blender if you wanted to. Personally, I like the chunks. I like having my food taste like the food it's intended to be. So that's guacamole. Last thing that you may want to do is, if you're not serving it right away, you may want to consider dropping the seeds right back in there. And the other thing you can do is, you may want to just put another little splash right on the top just to prevent the browning. Anyway, that's guacamole. How easy was that? And this jar, like I said, is 1/4 of a cup of your guacamole prepared with Epicure this way is only 90 calories. So this would be perfect for serving with veggies. So talking about a nice healthy snack that actually has good fat that's good for you. Take care, everyone. Bye.